Hi you guys, it's Linnea and I have another winter card for you featuring products from Scrapping for Less. To just start off with, I'm taking some Distress ink, and this is the color Candied Apple, and I am just adding it to a center of a piece of cardstock. Originally, I had planned to have my card be 4¼ by 5½, a regular A2 size card. So I was kind of blending this ink heavy at the middle and then lightening it out towards the edges. Then I'm going to lay the Echo Park Magical Snowfall stencil over top of my ink blending, and I will come in with a slightly darker Distress ink, the Fired Brick color. And I'm just going to use my ink blending again to blend some of this darker red ink over top. I'm going to check it, and it just wasn't dark enough, so I'm going in with a heavier hand. And when I peel this back, you're going to see some dark red snowflakes on top of a red background. And as I looked at this, I just didn't like it as an A2 sized card, so I decided to use some stitched circle dies and die cut that down and make a circle card. And so you kind of had this little halo of red ink in the center of the circle, and I love how this turned out in the end. So I'm going to take my Gansai Tambi Starry Colors palette here and do some ink flicking. I'm going to use the red gold as well as the white gold, and this is going to add some shimmery, pearlescent, metallic interest to the background of my card. So once that's done, I'm going to be stamping out a bunch of images from the Sunny Studio Bundled Up stamp set. I'm going to be creating a little penguin complete with all of his little accessories. I will use the little reindeer antler headband type thing, some gloves, a scarf. I'm going to use the coffee mug, just a bunch of little accessories to make this penguin fit into this Christmassy style card. I'll stamp all of them at once using my Misty and some Copic friendly ink, and then I will just do some Copic coloring. And as I color, I will leave the marker caps up in the top right hand corner. I'm just going to be doing really simple. Most of the colors are 2-color blends. For my black, I'm actually using dark grays. I love the neutral grays in the Copic color line. So I'm using N4, N6, and N8. And to start off with, I realized after I had stamped this that I used the wrong kind of cardstock. This is just 80 pounds, and I prefer to color on 110-pound cardstock. So I did get some bleeding here and there because the paper just wasn't thick enough to hold all that alcohol marker. It's kind of thinner, so the color wicked away more than I would have liked it to. But I just went in at the end with a white gel pen and covered up where I had little oops lines coming out. You can see one there on from the green on the scarf. But a white gel pen is always my best friend when I'm Copic coloring, and it fixes all my little mistakes. So I'm just going to finish up here with my red. I will use R24 and R29 to color in these red mittens. And then I was going to have the tops of the mittens be striped, but I needed some more neutral colors to balance things out. So I'm going to come in with my C0 and C00 markers and just make the tops of those little mittens white, as well as the remaining stripes in the scarf. And then I will use my scissors to fussy cut all of these images out, and I'll use liquid glue to start building this little penguin together. And as I build him up with all the little images, I have to apologize, I forgot to zoom my camera back out, so I'm kind of going to be at the bottom edge of my screen, slightly hanging off a lot of the times, but you'll get the picture here. I'm just using liquid glue. I started with the little antlers glued on the scarf, and then the mittens I'm going to kind of tilt to the side because I want him to be holding that coffee mug. So I'm going to tilt the mittens in so it kind of looks like his little hands are coming in towards his belly instead of going straight down. I added some fun foam to the back of my ink blended piece. And then I die cut some craft and gold foiled cardstock to be my background for my card. And I die cut that from a slightly larger stitched circle than I did my ink blended piece. I also die cut a white circle, and this is the same size as that striped foiled piece. I'm going to score it about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch from the one side, and that is going to allow a hinge for my circle card. This is my favorite way to make shaped cards. I just add a little hinge to whatever shape I've die cut, and that way when I glue these two pieces together with some strong double-sided adhesive, I'll just add that top piece right on top of that white cardstock. And you're going to see here in a minute how easily it'll open and close, just like a regular card. That white piece kind of just folds to the back. I'm also going to take my scissors and just snip off a little portion of that bottom white piece, and that's going to make it so that my card can stand up, and so it can be displayed or, easily shown. It's an A2 size card easily stands up on its own because it has that square bottom base to it, but a circle card would just kind of roll all over the place. So if you snip the edge, it'll stand right up, no problem. I'll add that little penguin to the front, and that completes my card. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you soon. Bye.